Hello, man. Hello, Mgtows. I wanted to talk about an important subject for men. It's an important subject for us because it can harm us and we don't see it, and how gynocentrism works, and how gynocentrism sometimes is unspottable. Uh, the problem sometimes is the things we read and the things that we see are gynocentric or gender specific to females. And I wanted to show you a slight example, or maybe two slight examples of this. And I'll discuss one of the first slight examples in your diet. A lot of men will go and surf the internet. Hello, Heidi. A lot of men will go surf the internet or the idiot net for information on dieting facts. And a diet's a very complex thing. A diet is something that you custom and you could treat to your body weight, your body fat, your need for muscle, and your gender. Now, let me say this again, and your gender. The diets are very gender specific because men need different things than women, and women need different things than men. But a lot of times on the idiot net, you don't get those gender specific warnings that they should put in there. If something will harm you, it's going to harm you. And a lot of times it comes from very reputable doctors. Now, let me do the screenshot for you, and I'll go over one. Ooh, there it is, the infinity page. Sorry about that, man. It's the infinity page always comes up. I'm going to do a very specific. Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can see that. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. This is an article about grapeseed oil from Dr. Axe, Dr. Joshua Axe, and his friend, Dr. Oz. Grapeseed oil, is it healthy? He doesn't suggest using grapeseed oil for pretty much one reason, and we'll get to that later in this article. He says, oh, oils are oils, and pretty much oils can be really confusing. Not really. Oils are oils and are not really confusing. There's some good oils and there's worse oils. And basically, we all go to the McDonald's and we eat things like French fries, deep fatted and pure just vegetable fat. But he goes on about grapeseed oils, and his cooking has been controversial. And you can see which audience he's pointing his opinion at. Now, this guy's a doctor. He says he's Dr. Josh Axe. And there's a picture of him right there standing next to him and his mangina buddy. And both of them, you notice, look like they have female estrogens in them. They both talk rather ladylike, and they may be ladyboys. But we look at what he says about the fiber tissue and the PUAs, and it's a lot what I said yesterday in the omega-6 acids and everything. And we were talking yesterday about diet, and you probably are not aware of good fats and bad fats, and he starts going on about blah, 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 everything about good fats and bad fats. And he says, but underneath his cloak is there's something back there. And we'll recognize this as MGTOWs. We recognize this as gynocentric. He's targeting towards a specific audience. Now he says there's vegetable oils, corn flours, sunflower oils, and soybean flours, and canola oils. And grapeseed is healthy because it contains unsaturated fats, PUFAs, and vitamin E's. And I use it. I use it for one specific reason. I use one grapeseed oil for one specific reason, because it removes estrogens. There's studies, and I'll show you the studies. Well, let's do it right now. The grapeseed affects in estrogen levels on they're suggesting that post-prenatal women do not use grapeseed oil because it removes estrogen levels. It'll remove your estrogen levels over a 12-week period by 84.8%. They base this at breast cancer patients and highly suggestive estrogen receptor modules, and that's what we're targeting. That's thyroid, and them are thyroid and just the way you ingest things. Uh, Decreasing estrogen levels, they're saying estrogen, and they say women need these things. And you got to understand, probably eating a lot of grapeseed oil while you're pregnant is not a very good thing because it decreases the estrogen levels. Now, if you want to have a baby boy, you would kind of try to cook with grapeseed oil while your wife was unconsciously eating it. So if you want to have a boy, that's a very good thing, and then it'll increase the testosterone levels and decrease the estrogen levels, and your chance of having a boy will probably be better. But Dr. Oz doesn't like this for a few reasons. He says it's got a lot of omega-6s and not omega-9s in it. And we'll know that it's 17 chain. Oh, yeah, 18 chain leonostic, carbon chain leononic acid, which I say you need these 18 chains because they got a double bond, and they open up and they grab testosterone and they bring it into your body. On the other hand, it does one other thing. It removes estrogen from your body, from the male body, which you don't need in your body. Now, the bad and ugly here and how grapeseed oil can be unhealthy. He goes on, and then there's a few facts that he starts talking about. And if you know your science and you know these things, and you listen to some very good people on these subjects, they're going to start talking about estrogen removal, and they're going to talk about the carbon chains and the way it works, and the leononic acid and that stuff. He'll say some of the downsides of consuming too high levels of the omega-6. Then he goes, then he says, in a polite way, that it's hormone imbalance and thyroid disorder. Now, if you know women like I know women, every single woman thinks she has a thyroid disorder. Every single woman thinks that she has a hormone imbalance. Every single woman, them are keywords and are catchwords, because it really doesn't do that, because we can read the whole article that I gave you here and say it does something exactly different than what it does. And it produces might be it. And what Dr. Oz says is, and then he takes the Axe, Dr. Axe, he says very high levels of omega-6 might be able, he's using weasel wording now, to interfere with your ability to produce sex hormones and mood stabilizers hormones. And we know these sex hormones and mood stabilizer hormones as estrogen. So let's go back up to the top. Look at a picture of these two men, which are very effeminate. They're very effeminate. They're directing. You've watched Dr. Oz. He directs his whole program at the female audience, and he's got his effeminate young man that comes on, which had to have a better name to him, and a masculine name named Dr. Dr. Axe. I wonder if that's his real name. But what they're doing is they're giving you a gender-specific diet that's gender-specific to one crowd, females, and retaining the estrogen level in females. They said they would never eat this stuff because it would remove the estrogen levels in their body, and it shows in the way they look. It really shows in the way they look. Now, men, gender-specific diets sometimes include, there's the infinity page. I'll stop that because I know it's just irritating. Gender-specific diets generally tailored for women include, they exclude things that remove estrogen. They never tell men that this will work to remove estrogen, and this will mean all those hormones and garbage that they pump in the chickens and meats and they put into NSOs, modified foods and everything, are estrogens and hormones. And you want to get those things out of your body. But who do you trust? I mean, that's what you got to ask yourself. Who do you trust in this thing? Do you really trust two effeminated males that have a female audience? No, you're going to go to a source. a male source, and that's Men's Health magazines. And even those Men's Health magazines, they're going to try to bring the women in because it's another source of income for them. And that's in this world, this gynocentric world, women do 80% of the shopping or whatever the damn stat is. I don't care what the stat is. Now, there's another diet. It's the banana diet. And I say, men, if you're over 35, cut the potassium out of your diet, cut the magnesium out of your diet, cut the C2s. You need to the D4 and the D2 because it just makes you feel better. But you can get these things in better ways. You simply take a tablet that cuts out a lot of the C2s and the C4s and the C6s. C2s are horrible for men. So when you're looking at, I seen a vegan come on once, and he's promoting this new banana diet and this new fruit diet and everything. And I looked at it and I thought, well, this is horrible for men. This is going to cause men Alzheimer's disease or early onset Alzheimer's before they're 60 years old, and they're not going to wonder why. If you do that diet, you can have early onset Alzheimer's before you're 60 years old, and you're not going to know why. It'll be easily removed if some genius figures out to give you a calcium reducer. But that depends on the genius of some doctors like Dr. Oz and Dr. Axe. Them guys are idiots. Please be gender specific about these things. If you're targeting these things towards a female audience, let's say, yeah, this may not be very good for men. But in today's society, these people will pump this stuff out, and they don't care if they're hurting you. These guys are doctors, for Christ's sake. They don't care if they're hurting the male body. There's specific things that you as a male want to eat. You want to increase your lithium levels. You want to do riboflavin levels. Very good for you. Spaghetti sauces, stuff like that. Tomatoes are really high in riboflavin. It's a great fruit, and it gets you vitamin C. It gets you everything you need. Spaghetti sauces. Meats generally high in fat are better for men. Meats generally low in fat are worse for men. I know there's a gentle balance with the cholesterol and the clogging, but that's something that you have to deal with in another way. We cannot remove salts and the omega-3s and 6s out of your diet because some idiot wants to look like a girl or have a girl audience. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. That's it. Gynocentrism runs amok, and it runs so deep in our society that sometimes men just they don't get it. They don't see it. They don't internalize it, and they'll go over. Oh no, they won't possibly. This is a good diet. They wouldn't possibly do that to me. Yes, they would. You're the ignored male. You are the disposable male. They don't care about your health. Go to the gym, they say. Go man up and bro down. So when we look at some of these things, read them carefully and do your research, because they will kill you, and they will kill you over a long period of time. And if this sort of thing becomes a habit, it's like eating potato chips. You grab one potato chip once when you're 18, 19 years old, and you go, man, that was pretty good. So you go buy a box of potato chips and you eat them like for the rest of you for 30 years. And yeah, high in salt, high in fat, you're going to kill yourself if you can't control these sort of things. Diets are like that too. A bad diet, and you get used to eating like that, it's going to kill you faster than you know. I once did that diet, that Atkins diet, where you remove everything but meat in your life. And about 3 months later, all my fingernails started falling off because no one ever told me that I needed to get some vitamins in my body. I lost a lot of weight, looked pretty good until I looked down at my fingernails. And then the guy that told me to do this diet was, oh shit, I forgot to tell you that. It's not a gender specific diet, but there's things that you need to know about dieting. You got to read about it. I seen a guy doing a water diet with slight amounts of lecithin put in the water, and he was paying big bucks to have the stuff shipped to his house. And I thought it was a foolish thing to do, but he was drinking it, and he was paying big bucks and telling, "Oh, this is great," and it was just mineral water with lecithin added to it, and he bought into it. He bought into a marketing scheme. Uh, it was probably not that bad for him. It was probably really good for him to drink them amounts of water like they were telling him. He was flushing his system and doing something nice for his intake. But not everything you read is going to be true, and I suggest you do your research as a man, like a man should. And since there's no one coming in today, I'll just kind of leave this as a video. And thanks a lot, man. You have a great day, and thanks, Mgtow, for being Mgtow.